Hi, I'm Perry from Red and Rind, and I'm a world cheese judge, qualified AFNA, recently Virtual Cheese Awards judge, presenter at the big weekend of British cheese. Credentials. Hopefully I'm qualified enough to supply you these 5 cheeses, which are 5 outstanding British artisan cheese in your beautiful boxes that you've received with your tasting notes, your I Ate More British Cheese posters to show that you're waving the flag and supporting our British heritage, which is a truly remarkable thing, not only because it's British, because we're bloody good at it. I keep on saying to people, you know, that yeah, British just is part of it, but we're actually amazing cheesemakers. So once again, thank you so much for your support. COVID lockdowns have been really difficult for cheesemakers, and it's people like you that are ensuring that our British cheese heritage is still around for us to be very proud of, which is just absolutely awesome. So 5 cheeses, here we go, let's dive into the first one. Goat's cheese, Driftwood, made by White Lake Cheeses down in Somerset. It's got this really cool rind. You know, we haven't really had, I think in the time of doing our mystery cheese boxes, an ash covered cheese. So what you can see from this rind, it's greyish, that's ash that goes on the cheese. If you imagine goat's cheese, you always get a lemony kind of note. That's the acidity in the cheese. The ash on the outside, that creates a really unique thing where it becomes alkaline, allowing all cool molds to develop on there, not to be invasive. You know, it's pretty cool. It's just a technique that we use. I think in like Neolithic times it was used to keep the flies off. Or probably to make sure the rinds don't look too damaging, you know? But anyway, so we've got this awesome rind on there. This cheese is actually thermized. So thermized, we spoke about pasteurization, unpasteurization, raw milk. Thermized is like gently heating the cheese, so it doesn't kind of eradicate all the bacteria. So it's a form of pasteurization. Not technically, it is an unpasteurized cheese, but it doesn't hurt the milk as much, it doesn't beat it up. What we can see from this is this beautiful dual texture. Now this is rind slip, like rind slip on this outside. We have this big argument amongst cheesemakers, is it a good thing or a bad thing? I love it. You know, it was not really liked like years ago because you'd have to transport cheese around, bumpy roads, imagine Roman roads, you know, driftwood would bounce around and the rinds would get all gnarly and you wouldn't be able to sell them at the market. Now I love it. I love the dual textures that you get from it. So yeah, let's give it a smell. Typically goaty, lemony, grassy, what you would expect. Slight little bitter note on the rind, but nothing too major. Texture, you've got this kind of chalkiness and this, you know, this nice rind slip that's going on the outside, giving you that dual texture. So give it a taste. You've got that goatiness, which is problem, moving into a nice level of saltiness, acidity that's there, that's bumbling between citrusy and maybe slightly vinegary. Totally Moorish. Really nice perfume kind of finish. I shouldn't eat too much. You know, I always do this. I only need to eat a little bit. It's got this cool contrast note in it, which is a bit like salt and vinegar crisps. It's got that acidity pulling back to saltiness with that goaty body in it, which is quite awesome. So Driftwood, awesome cheese to start us off with. Next cheese coming in is Lincolnshire Poacher, made by Tim and Simon Jones. We visited there just before lockdown. They were building this massive kind of warehouse. Warehouse sounds terrible, cheese cave, where they were putting tracks in for a robot cheese turner. I can't wait to visit there when this mess is over. I'm sure a lot of you are feeling the same and want to do things. It's a cheddar style cheese, but it's got alpine kind of starters and heating of the curd and milk in it. So it's closer to an alpine than a cheddar, but it's got those cheddar-y notes that are in there. So let's cut this up. Okay, my knife isn't sharp enough. Sorry about that. So, we notice the rind, it's got this like plastic coat that's on it. That locks in moisture. Make sure that we're not losing too much moisture. Smell, oh that's really good. You know, that nuttiness signature is there, coupled with that acidic tang that you was familiar with kind of cheddar. Yeah, I think this is going to be really good actually, you know. Yeah, so we batch select our own cheeses with Tim and Simon. This year's been difficult to do it, but we trust them and we keep them here in our maturing rooms in Cambridge. Let's have a taste. Nice chewy texture. Good like freshness up front. It's like you know, it's quite watery and neutral. Moving into some real soft savoury flavours. Nuttiness being prominent throughout actually. Slight, that acidity now has turned into that pineapple kind of vibe. It's there. It's not too pronounced, it's there. And a beautiful finish. Yeah. Oh, really nice finish. That brothiness right at the end. Really good. Yeah, we're good board this month. I'm really pleased with it. That's got legs as well. I'm still tasting different flavours. Now that bitterness is coming in at the back, kind of dancing around that like histamine kind of thing, a little bit of itching, but not too pronounced. Beautiful. Next cheesed up is Duckett's Caerphilly, which is made down in Somerset by Tom Calver, fantastic cheesemaker, makes Westcombe cheddar. When we saw Duckett's Caerphilly and the story behind it, that Chris Duckett's the original person that made it, fell ill. Tom didn't want to see the recipe die out, so he started to make it there, which is just awesome. It's such a picturesque place as well. His house below is a cellar. It's got a natural river stream that runs kind of through the walls, and it creates like this musty kind of vibe that's in there. So if you smell the rind, that will teleport you to these maturing rooms and Tom's maturing rooms. It's that musty kind of great environment, not too pleasant, but a great environment for cheese to mature in. Good humidity. So flavour. Now this should be quite light. We want a break. You know, we've had some big flavours. This should be light. I didn't smell it there, but yogurty, grassy, light, lemony. Stunning. It's more rigid than I'm used to, usually more crumbly and more moist. It's got a more rubberiness to it this time around, which is a great texture difference to what we've had. This light yogurty note that comes through, the grassiness, the real like, you know, I throw this word around, but terroir, you know, the region, the grass, the quality of the milk, everything that Tom and Westcombe do down there just is so displayed in such a simple way. You know, the simplicity of this cheese is absolutely stunning. Really great, really great. Duckett's Caerphilly. Next cheese up, Roll Right, made by David down in Gloucestershire. Thank you, David, if you're watching this, for maturing these up for us. We kind of, at the drop of the hat, decided this would be a great cheese for us, but the sizes were quite large for us to do. So it's so he made these specifically for us. So this is going to evolve over the next 4 weeks actually. It's going to become more runny, but we've got these pronounced features that are on there. We can see it's beginning to break down. A nice light paste and this beautiful peachy rind, which most of you guys have been following us for like the years since we've been alive, and you know that rinds like that, peachiness, means wash rind. Push up that brevibacterium that's in there and create some really interesting flavours that kind of allow that to kind of harness through, which is phenomenal. So yeah, it's quite beautiful cheese to look at. It's wrapped in this lovely bark. Do not eat that, okay? You know, I don't want to harm you. That's just part of this kind of awesome ingenuity that David does, you know. It's a wash rind cheese, it's wrapped like a vacherin. You know, it's interesting. And that's what makes us great about British cheese makers. We splice ideas, we pull them all from the side of the world and we put them together and we make fantastic cheeses like Roll Right. So we spoke about appearance, and we've got that beautiful peachy rind, obviously the bark on the outside, really easy to cut, pudgy. I think that's the best one to say, is pudgy. Smell, raw nuts, you know, skins of nuts that you're getting under the rind, peanutty. A little bit of cream that's there, milkiness that's there, nothing too powerful. Nothing too unpleasant for a wash rind cheese. Interestingly, just under the rind of the bark is almost like that raw nuttiness that we're talking about, unsweetened. Flavour. That's a dream. God. It's rigid, it's slightly colder in here, so hopefully yours after 45 minutes will ooze out, relax those fats, get more flavour. Sorry, something went wrong, technical. Start again. It's just stunning. The flavour of it is just so Moorish. It's so subtle. And what I love about it, like now, after eating it, this beautiful bacon here, there's no way to describe it, it's bacon, 100% porkiness. Incredible. Milk, how it tastes, amino acids breaking down within the cheese to create porky flavours. That's a masterpiece. That's really nice. And it's this neutrality which I've been utilising in a few of my cheese balls that cleanses the palate. That minerality, that kind of water that rushes over the tongue after you're finished, that alkaline finish, just creates a nice empty palate for us to move on to the big flavour. Dorset Blue Vinny, you know, phenomenal cheese, was made centuries ago. They used to transport it up to London, and they used to say that they'd put old leather boots in the milk vat to get the moulds going. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, resurrected old recipe from the guys down there. It's got a beautiful consistent veining in. The draw-in's quite a lot, it's quite dark towards the rind. And a good consistency of bluing, which is great. Slight crumbly edge. Dorset Blue Vinny has an ability to really catch me off guard most of the time. I really don't like each batch that's matured or brought in, I don't know where it's going to be. And you can get some real, and that's the beauty of artisan cheese. The ups and downs that you have, amazing experiences, sometimes the worst experiences, and you're constantly chasing that amazing cheese, So smell, not really much there. That saltiness, that mustiness is coming through. There's familiar digestive hoppiness is there, more pronounced towards the rind. A little bit of ammonia on the rind. Not necessarily a bad thing, might provide a little bit of spice. Right, flavour. Fudge-like consistency. Crumbles hold on a little bit long, so it doesn't sway over the palate nice. So it makes it like this hybrid of chewiness as well, between fudginess. Saltiness being predominant, like a Parma ham style. Blue rushing in the end, and a little bit of vapour kind of coming off, like this aroma of blue, which I always talk about. Finishing with a minor bit of brothiness, a little bit of acidity that's there, and then the spiciness, the ammonia that I was talking about, the spiciness tingling around the palate. Challenging that end note, but not bad. Phenomenal cheeses. Eat them in this order because they provide the best, and I've tailored them to be like this. So everyone asked me what would be my favourite. Oh God, this is tough. I'm going to go for Lincolnshire Poacher. That's a beautiful batch. Well done, Tim and Simon. That is something sensational. Closely followed by these three. That roll riot nearly had it, but lovely. So, well done you supported British artisan cheese, which is amazing. You supported us, an independent company, which is awesome. So you guys have a lovely weekend. Enjoy the rest of your month. I'll have 5 more cheeses for you next month in May. Restaurants, pubs, opening up outside on the 12th. Get out there and enjoy it. You deserve it. See you later.